What's up, guys? This is Pooka, and I got a special game here on Pokemon TCG Online. I'm actually going up against another YouTuber who does some Pokemon TCG videos, so definitely check him out. It's TylyrPlays on YouTube. I'll have the link for you down in the description, but he puts out some good Pokemon TCG Online content, so definitely check him out, because not too many people actually post games from this program for whatever reason. So we actually got paired up against each other from my Bad Deck Monday stream, and this is going to be the Chesnaught Ninjask deck that I posted a few days ago. I think I did it last week, and it has Ninjask, which has Night Slash, does 60 damage, and then switches into Chesnaught, which has the spiky shield, spiky shell, spiky something. That when your opponent attacks it for damage, they take 3 damage counters. So it's not a great strategy, but it gets the job done, I guess. And it looks like my opponent is playing actually a very similar deck to the one I played the last time I used this deck. And that is a Tauros Umbreon Team Plasma Badge deck. Trying to take advantage of Tauros' attack, Seething Anger, which for each damage counter on Tauros, you get to flip a coin, and for each heads, it does 30 damage. You can get a good peek at it there. And the idea is to just give it tons of HP with Umbreon and Aspertia City Gym, and then knock something out by flipping a bunch of heads with Seething Anger after you take some damage. So we'll see which deck comes out on top here. Mine is definitely a bad deck. I guess you could classify his as that as well. But we will see who comes out on top here in this battle of the bad decks. So we see a lot of EVs on the board, and there is a Professor Sycamore. There's the Team Plasma badge, so now Tauros gets plus 20, plus 40 HP from 2 Umbreon in play. So it's going to take forever to knock one of these things out. It's just going to have so much HP. And he's going to start off with a takedown, doing 30 and then 10 to himself. So I guess he wants to get some damage on himself to try to use Seething Anger. He also couldn't actually do damage unless he used Takedown. So I'm actually going to throw a Rock Guard on my Quilladin. And I could Max Potion there, but Tauros really can't knock me out. The only way he can knock me out is like Laser, Verbank, or if he played a Rainbow Energy and then flipped 2 heads for Seething Anger, those would be the only ways to knock out Quilladin with Tauros right there, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not really worried about it. So we're going to wait until I take another hit and then evolve into Chesnaught and then play the Max Potion. Seems like the best way to go about it. And hopefully the Rock Guard stays there. We do see a Skyla from my opponent, so maybe their Rock Guard is going bye-bye to a Tool Scrapper. Of course, this is the reason that Rock Guard is a very horrible Ace-Spec card. It just takes 1 Tool Scrapper to get rid of it, and you have used your 1 Ace-Spec card for the deck. And most decks nowadays play like 2 Tool Scrappers, so we don't see your little Rock Guard too often. But we're going to see if we can have him shine here. And actually, the Skyla goes for a Chorus. Alright. Now, he might actually want the Rock Guard because it's going to give him more damage to work with Seething Anger. So he's going to take down and then take 70 damage. 10 from himself, 6 from the Rock Guard. We're going to evolve into the Chesnaught Max Potion. And that's going to force him to flip 6 heads to actually knock out the Chesnaught. Since it has 160 HP, it would be 30 times 6. You need 6 heads to knock this thing out. Otherwise, Rock Guard is really combining here with Spiky Shield. It is Spiky Shield. It'll do 9 damage counters to that Tauros. And that will be absolutely devastating to just take 90 for attacking a Pokemon. This is the whole goal of the deck. Chesnaught plus Rock Guard equals spiky rock shell guard thing. Yeah. And we'll see what happens right here. Is he going to attack into the big Chesnaught? We shall see. And yes, and he actually gets 6 out of 8 heads, knocking out my big Chesnaught. No! But you can actually see there is 170 damage on that Tauros. And it actually survived thanks to the Aspertia City Gym, but yeah, Tropical Beach is so strong that it actually just knocked out his Tauros. We got rid of the Aspertia City Gym, so we got knocked back down to the 170 HP instead of the 190. So we're going to take a quick knockout there with the counter stadium, honestly. And we'll evolve into Ninjask. And now we can... Well, we got some cards to work with here. We can Ultra Ball for another Chesnaught. And I guess we can Skylar for a rare candy, and we can go from here. And we're pretty well set up at this point. You know, we got to get some more Chesnaught going. We got to keep a constant stream of them in play. Because that's the entire strategy. We need to Night Slash and switch into the Chesnaught. Otherwise, their deck is just Ninjask doing 60 damage, which is very bad. But here we're going to go for the big Night Slash for 60 and switch back into the Chesnaught. Now, we got a long ways to go. All these Pokemon, oh my goodness, there are 4 Umbreon in play. Oh, all the Team Plasma Pokemon now have 80 extra HP. So even this Umbreon here has 180 hit points. And that is just not right. Imagine like a Thunderous EX. That would now have 250 hit points. 4 Umbreon in play is just silly. And there's a Team Plasma badge. So that Tauros now has 190 hit points. And quite frankly, that is just silly. I mean, come on. It's a Tauros. Why does it have 190 HP? Oh, man. Alright, so I'm going to Skyla here. I was fortunate enough to top deck that Juniper. So we're going to play the Skyla and just float stone onto the Chesnaught. So I can retreat and Night Slash. Get another 60 damage there. And that doesn't actually knock out Umbreon. Yep, it's just sitting there with 120 damage on it, and still got 60 left. So this is going to take an extremely long time to knock anything out when I'm doing 60 damage a turn. Now, fortunately, Tauros isn't the greatest attacker in the world, and when one goes down, it takes a little bit for my opponent to get another one going. So I actually feel pretty comfortable at this point in the game, since, well, anytime a Tauros goes down, I basically just get like 2 free turns to attack. And Tauros is trading like 1-for-1 with my Pokemon. So eventually that's going to add up to me winning. Now, I don't know if there's any other Pokemon he plays. Something like Lugia EX could definitely throw a wrench in things. Or any other Team Plasma Pokemon for that matter, which would just have an absurd amount of HP. But for now, I am feeling pretty good about my spot. Considering Tauros doesn't really do much. Until you hurt it. And we do see an escape rope here. I'm kind of afraid of losing Ninjask. I probably shouldn't have been. So I'm going to promote Chespin instead of Ninjask. Looking back, I probably should have just promoted the Ninjask. There was no way he could have knocked me out. I was just kind of being scared, but oh well. We're going to put the Rocky Helmet onto Chespin. And, oh, that has a 2 retreat costs. What in the world? Why does Chespin have a 2 retreat cost? I think that there's the theme deck ones that have 1 retreat. I'll have to get some of those, because 2 retreat on a Chespin is just plain silly. Alright, so we've just kind of lost a turn there because of the escape rope and me being scared to promote Ninjask, but, whatever. We'll live with it. We're tied in prizes. I'm feeling pretty decent about my spot still. We got the Rocky Helmet on that Chespin. The golden Rocky Helmet. So we can at least do 20 more damage to the Tauros. And, you know, again, the Tauros is the only Pokemon in play that's really attacking. He's filled his bench with 4 Umbreon and a Victini. Not exactly the most frightening Pokemon, considering none of them will really attack. So, I'm still okay. It looks worse than it is. So, let's go ahead and evolve into a second Ninjask. And we can put a Muscle Band onto the Ninjask. and retreat, and Night Slash for 80 damage. And we'll send out Chesnaught right now. So now my opponent has 12 damage counters. He's going to have to flip 6 out of 12 heads to get a knockout on Chesnaught. I may not have had to put the muscle band down there. I'm not really sure. But there's 3 heads. He's going to get a reflip with Victini's Victory Star. And there is the 6 heads and another Chesnaught bites the dust. Oh, man. So now we're down 2 prizes. And we don't have a Chesnaught in play. But we'll go ahead and throw a floatstone on this chessman. And, well, we can Night Slash. Knock out the Tauros. Exactly. So the muscle band was a good idea. Well, I think I may have been overkill by a little bit, but whatever. That is so much HP, I don't even want to do the math right now. 210. It has plus 100 hit points. And that just shouldn't happen. Alright, so an Umbreon comes out, and I'm going to get a prize. If I can get another Chesnaught into play pretty soon, that would be nice. To, you know, keep the strategy going. Keep switching into the big Chesnaught. Hit my opponent when he hits me. And we'll try to close this game out. Again, my opponent's left with no energy after knocking out that Tauros, but he's left with 4 Umbreon, so he can definitely buy some time here. Those are some mighty, mighty strong Pokemon. We do see a Shadow Triad getting a chorus and then a bicycle. Kind of a strange sequence of events there. We'll see if the bicycle turns into anything, and it looks like no. And I top deck a rare candy. Alright. So that was pretty fortunate. We'll go ahead and retreat into Ninjask and Night Slash for 80 damage, switching back into the Chesnaught. And, alright. We took down one of the Umbreon. Woohoo! Now it's only plus 60 hit points for all the Team Plasma Pokemon, and it's only 230 hit point Thundurus EX. Alright. Now it's only a little extremely ridiculous. Alright, so we got a long ways to go. That is the long and short of it. We have a long ways to go before we can collect our final 3 prizes here. As my opponent does play that chorus for a fresh 7 cards, he gets another Tauros into play. And I guess Thundurus EX is kind of the backup attacker in the deck. Maybe if you get a Team Plasma badge, you can actually Raid Knuckle onto the Tauros. Kind of neat. Well, I guess we'll find out. I'm going to go ahead and retreat and Night Slash, do our strategy here. 80. And swap back into the Chesnaught. Put our big bulky Pokemon in the active position. Now the downside here is I am running out of Chesnaught. I think I've lost all my Chespin besides the active one. So if I'm going to get another Chespin or Chesnaught into play, I'm going to need a Super Rod pretty soon. But we'll see if my opponent has a switch here or something to get that Umbreon out of the active spot. And it looks like no. No switch. And we can just knock out this Umbreon here. Just retreat. Night Slash. Get the knockout. Go back to Chesnaught. And all of a sudden we were down 2 prizes. Now we're in the lead. And we'll see what Tyler does from here. As, I mean, the mighty force of Chesnaught's Spiky Shield in combination with Ninjask Night Slash is getting the job done right now. And we do see the Team Plasma badge. So, a neat combo here. Put the Team Plasma badge on Tauros. And then Raid Knuckle. Put the double colorless onto Tauros. Powers it up. Pretty sweet. Here we're going to drop the Silver Bangle onto Ninjask. I'm going to go ahead and play a level ball here, grab Mr. Mime, that's all that's really left. I think, yeah, all my Chespin are gone. And here we go, another Night Slash for 90 damage. And now we'll have to see what happens next. I mean, he can't really attack with Thundurus again. If he does, I just Night Slash and win. But if Tauros comes out, which it will, it's going to get hit for a nice 3 damage counters with the Spiky Shield, and uh-oh, there is an N. So I get put down to 2 cards there. But there's 2 pretty nice cards, I must say. I got the max potion to heal off my Chesnaught and also a rare candy. So it's actually not looking bad. Usually an end to 2 is pretty brutal, but looks like I came out pretty well. The max potion was the big card here. I'm going to take some damage and then we're going to max potion it right off. And hopefully survive the next turn. And I also draw the Tool Scrapper. That's big. We can bring Tauros back down to, it'll be 130 HP. Which can be big. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to retreat. And I got to think about how much damage I want to do to this Tauros. I think I only want to do 60. We don't want to do the Muscle Band one. So when I Night Slash and switch back into Chesnaught, there will be 100 on Tauros. And then if it hits me, it'll take 3 more from the Spiky Shield. And then we can actually just play the Tool Scrapper, put it back down to 130 HP, and knock it out with a Tool Scrapper. And we're not going to play Tool Scrapper right now, because my opponent could just have another Team Plasma Badge. So we're going to wait until it's at the 130 damage, and then Tool Scrapper, and then take care of this Pokemon. So another Tauros does come into play. And we see a double colorless go on to that Tauros, and we see 5 heads, but no, it's going to take 6 to knock out this Chesnaught. He gets one more opportunity to reflip with Victini's Victory Star, though. Will Chesnaught survive? He needs 6 or more heads. It's an epic. Oh, it is just 4. Chesnaught survives. And we're just going to drop that Tool Scrapper. Knock out the Tauros by discarding the Team Plasma Badge. So that's twice we've actually knocked out Tauros with funky methods. We did a Counter Stadium knockout once, and then a Tool Scrapper knockout the second time. And it looks like my opponent's just sending out the Thunderous EX. And just going to throw in the towel here as Ninjask can Night Slash for the win. And Chesnaught Ninjask takes the victory. Oh, baby. This is a very unique deck, I would say. But it looks like we got the job done right here. So, props to Ninjask. And once again, be sure to check out Tyler's channel, TylyrPlays. He posts a lot of videos. A lot of Pokemon TCG Online videos. So it's just another avenue to check out some more Pokemon TCG content. And, I always like giving some shout-outs to people who do some good work. So definitely check him out. But that's going to wrap up this video. That's all we got for this time. Hope you enjoyed. This is Pooka from the Top Cut, and I will see you guys next time.